So, what must Baylor women's basketball do to get the highest seed possible? Right now, according to the latest bracketology, they are a ninth seed. I know that's disappointing, Baylor women's basketball fans. I know it is disappointing. But you got to take in context what has happened to this team this year. First of all, injuries have occurred. Like, especially to Asia Blackwell, and she was a double-double machine at Missouri prior. And she was averaging 20 points per game in the first few games, and then lower leg injury, and she's only played 8 games all year and only totaled 95 minutes up to this point in the season. Of course, no Dre Edwards has hurt. We thought she was going to play. That didn't help. Of course, no Kendra Gillespie. That has hurt too. I mean, due to personal issues, it hurts to depth. And we know Erica Porter has been dealing with a concussion as of recently. So she would be ahead of Kyler, in my opinion. And we're just young and have a lot of new faces. And what Nikki Collins said in the last press conference is right now they're dealing with some stomach issues or something like that. I know that's why Sarah didn't start. Right now we would be a 9th seed, like I said. But what's realistic on the highest seed possible? I don't know about a 6th seed. That's pushing it way too much. The only way, in theory, that could happen is if to get help, first of all, and you got to win out the rest of your games. And that starts tomorrow against Texas Tech. They are a bubble team. Because right now, they're not even on the next 4 out list. They're probably on the next 4 out, if anything. They're not even on the first 4 out. So, yeah. That doesn't do any good. We have to protect home court against them. They defeated West Virginia recently, and now West Virginia is on the bubble, on the outside looking in, as a first 4 out team, and we lost to them. That hurts. Obviously, that loss to them and Kansas State are the biggest losses that are the worst all year long. I'm not talking about margin of a loss either. I'm talking about the quality of loss. Those 2 losses have hurt. But we have defeated at one time a top 25 Kansas team on the road. Now they're on the first 4 byes. That doesn't help. And they lost to Kansas State. Just like we did. I mean, that's the truth. But we defeated Iowa State. That was in the top 15 at the time. At their place. We also defeated Oklahoma at their place. And we defeated Villanova. Let's not forget about that. We did that without Asia Blackwell playing. The only quality game left, if I'm being realistic, besides that, maybe that West Virginia game a week from tomorrow, and I'm only considering that because they're on a bubble and we have to beat them and don't allow them to get in the NCAA tournament. Because we don't want to lose to another NIT team at this point. We can't afford a loss to that. To them, nor Texas Tech. It's Texas, and they're number 19 in the country. And as of right now, there's only like one team that's going to host in the Big 12 the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Any guesses who that team is? I got the answer right in front of me, but go right ahead and try to guess while I look again. It's not Oklahoma. They're a 5 seed right now. They would be. Believe it or not, it's Texas. And they're just a 4 seed. A 4. That's the only one. Oklahoma's close as a 5 seed, and Iowa State's just dropped off to a 6 seed right now. So, yeah. And ever since that injury, they've been struggling some. Let's face it. We had Oklahoma dead to rights, and Iowa State dead to rights. I know. We can't look back in anger about that. It just didn't happen. But I know one thing. If we could go, we have to go 2-1 in the next 3 games, regular season games, 2-1. But if we get on a road win against Texas, that's probably in the top 25, unless they lose to Oklahoma for whatever reason. That's the only game this week they're both playing. Oklahoma and Texas are. That I'm giving ourselves a 30-35% chance. I'm not going to say it's a for sure loss, but I'm not going to say it's a for sure win. It's more like in between, like 30 to 60%. But right now I feel like 35%. And right now, like as we know, the Big 12, we know like the 1 seed will play the 8 versus 9, and the 2 seed would play the winner of the 7 versus 10, the 4 versus the 5, and 3 versus the 6. So where are we currently? We have, first of all, I know we're not in the top 3. I'm positive of that. And you should know that too. But still. It's trying to load. And I apologize for this delay. Right now, we would be a 5 seed. And guess who would we play? Iowa State. I wouldn't mind a rematch against them. I wouldn't. I know Ashley Jones is a pain. I know they are. But I have a hunch. If we get to play them again, we're going to have a lot more motivation. We're going to be motivation after that last meeting and we lost in double overtime against them. The highest seed in the Big 12 tournament, realistically, the thing is, forget a 1 or 2 at this point. There's no way. Iowa State's not going to lose to TCU. Let's just be that clear. Make that clear. They could lose on the road to Kansas. They're desperate. They need a wins. So 1 game, that's it. But the problem is that would require us winning the last 3 games, and even then, we would be just a 4 seed. So it's like tomato. But we do need to win the next 2 out of 3 no matter what. Because then it makes West Virginia a 6 seed and they play Oklahoma State. We already knew 1 and 2, no way. The only way Iowa State's going to move up is simple. To a 3 seed is if Oklahoma State would lose to Oklahoma, first of all. They got West Virginia on the road. They're desperate for quality wins right now. And they have Kansas on the road. The last 3 games for them isn't easy. Granted, 2 of those are actually 2 of those are even on the road. That's hard. Against teams that are kind of in the bubble area. So that's it. And if nothing else, we know if we beat West Virginia no matter what, and we beat Texas Tech tomorrow, we should be safe for a 5 seed. And we're going to either play against Oklahoma State or Iowa State. And I don't mind either of those matchups. I know Oklahoma State destroyed us. I'm going to give them credit for that. But I think we were just a little bit hungover from that game. And I have a hunch we're going to be motivated for them too, just like if we get a rematch with Iowa State. Of course, if you win the Big 12 tournament, you will be in the NCAA tournament. But that's not the issue here. We just need to avoid some bad losses here, like a Texas Tech or West Virginia. We got to avoid them. Avoid those 2 as much as possible. Because the last thing you want to do at this stage in the game is to lose to a WNIT team. I'm being serious. And here's the fortunate, and of course, if we're like a 4 seed or a 5 seed, we'll play. If we do get to beat either Iowa State or Oklahoma State, that is if it ends what I think it's going to end. Like we go at least 2-1, and the only loss is to Texas, and the other two home games are wins. I don't care how ugly it gets. They just need wins. And they needed that monkey off their back from that TCU game recently. I know. We'll either get to play Texas again, which is going to be probably the if we do even beat either one of those two teams. Texas, which we're going to play them again really quickly within a week and a half. I mean, you know the Big 12 tournament starts March 9th, but that's for like the other 4 teams. While it's the next day for the other teams. Yeah, it would be March 11th against them. So that is the good news in this situation right here. We do get to play either Texas again. I have a hunch, no matter what, it's either going to be Texas or Oklahoma at the one spot. Forget Oklahoma State, unless Texas really falls off, and same thing goes for Oklahoma. Let's be clear about that. Remember, we beat them there, and we nearly had them here, and we know their personnel. I mean, it's the truth, and not just by playing them twice, but they nearly had the same personnel as last year. Just added Aubrey Jones, a transfer from Iowa State, and some other freshmen, and we know Texas because, look, we're going to play them, of course, not only play them twice, but we would play them twice within technically a week and 5 days. So either way, we're going to know them pretty good. But we have to wait and see what happens for real, though. And what's my guess where we're going to be at for the NCAA tournament? As of right now, I just don't see a 6 seed happening. 7 seed probably is not going to happen unless we get help or we beat either Oklahoma or Texas. Let's be clear. If we beat one of those two teams, and then we get to not only Texas, but we get to play. If we play Texas and we beat them there and we win our home games, and if somehow Oklahoma's a 1 seed, that's a possible win over a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, just like Texas. And I know even if they sweep us, we're going to know them pretty well for the reasons which I already stated. And we could just get to the Big 12 title game and try to tournament championship game, and we'll have to wait and see what really happens. It's a few games left, so we're going to know the seeding soon enough within a week from Saturday. I would venture to guess that's when everybody's going to be done. I definitely know but I'm going to double check on the schedule. I mean, the last date for that, by the way. I'm going to just check that right now. I know it's, no matter what, it's a week from Saturday. They're done. At the earliest. It's the latest. I'm not sure because, you know, yep, that's the earliest and that's the latest. So, yeah, a week from Saturday, about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, we're gonna know, if not the next day, in terms of the standings. We'll definitely, I would say we're going to know by Saturday night where we're at next Saturday night in terms of what their seeds are and everything, unless there's tiebreakers, which we're going to have to wait and see. Anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe, and see you guys later. It's 5 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.